In golf, precision is everything, on and off the course. PGA of America chose advanced 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business for smooth operations and seamless transactions. Together, we enhance ticketing and concessions for better fan experiences from gate to green. This is pro-level efficiency. This is PGA of America with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Eejits of the World! I'm Glenn Wool.
I'm also Andrew Maxwell.
Yes,
and
you are.
This week on Eejits of the World, we have rhubarb.
We have the Brighton Dome.
We have the world of skiing, celebrity, accident, legislation.
Sounds like it could include Gwenyth Paltrow.
It's all about Gwenyth Paltrow for me.
Yes.
And then we have a massive Irish Eejit called Enoch Burke.
Ugh, I don't like him. And we're going to finish off with the Eejits of Public Nuisance. Oh, that's a lot of idiocy. Oh. It's a confederacy of dunces.
You'll get to the end of this episode and you'll feel fucking amazing about yourself.
Yeah.
What a cornucopia of Eejits we have for you.
Yeah, we watered the fields, we tilled them, we've sowed them, now we reap them.
The rich bounty of this week's Eejits.
Yes, thank you, the Greek god of Eejits, Dorcas.
Dorcas? Is that
Dorcas.
Dorcas. All right. You know what? I never really thought it through, but it probably is Dorcas. Is that the same? Is he related to Malorcas? Is that the same fella?
Yeah, that's the island he's from. Dorcas from Menorcas.
Oh, I am so tired and hungover. I can't believe how much that amused me.
Oh, it has been a long and winding road.
The long and winding road.
Bum, bum.
To the Eejits that we've brought to your door. Yes, we are still out on tour with Jim Jeffries. We were last night. If you want some exhibits of Eejits, here is two tired middle-aged men. We were in Brighton last night.
We were in Brighton and we had
it was awesome, actually.
Lots of people backstage and they thought they would be able to drink our rider before we did. So we guarded it. We hid it in the only place we could think, our stomachs.
Inside ourselves. That's what we did. All these people came backstage. Very nice people. We had a very nice time. Great people. But they all came backstage. And you could see they were looking at our booze. Yeah. They were like, we're going to drink that booze. And we were like, I think you'll find hangers on. That's flunky juice.
That's right.
That's for us flunkies.
It makes us funny.
Well, it just makes us more flunky, whatever that is. But yes, this morning I woke up trying to piece. There was a very long conversation. There was many of us involved, and it was all about rhubarb.
Yeah, we were pretty deep into the liquor by that point.
Yeah, but there was so many people very impassioned about rhubarb. I don't really know this. I think it's worth actually raising, as seeing as how we now have the ear of the great general public.
Yeah,
the global Anglosphere.
I have theories on rhubarb. I'm ready to share them.
Right. What I learnt last night in our group discussion on rhubarb is there is such a thing as the forced rhubarb triangle. Have you heard about this?
They're not the ones who secretly run the world, are they?
Great if it was. It wasn't
Big rhubarb.
It wasn't the Illuminati at all. It was just a bunch of men between Leeds, Selby and Harrogate And between all that, that's where all the rhubarb is. That really is. That's the first rhubarb triangle.
And you'll never hear it spoken about in the news because they own the newspapers.
It's what the newspapers are made of.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that rhubarb's good for. You think about it, there's rhubarb. Has existed for, you'd imagine it's got to be millennia. It looks a pretty basic plant. It looks early through the doors. Do you know what I mean?
Existence. It looks like it would be on one of the planets that the Star Trek team got bleebity down to.
Yes. Yes. But it does look like there would be a planet of the rhubarb. Mm-hmm. Boring episode. Yeah. You know why? They never found the custard. They never found it.
Just had some pie in that one.
Yeah. But that's the rhubarb. I think it must be related to celery.
Well, it's sort of celery with a little bit of flair. Celery that doesn't know its own station, so it shows up.
It is. It's
all salmony.
Yeah. Purple celery.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of groove going on.
That's right.
Are you any good for anything? Not really.
Yeah. Celery doesn't like rhubarb. It feels it's beneath them, but everybody else prefers rhubarb.
I think so. I mean, celery I'm agnostic about, I have to say.
It's wonderful in soup, but that's all it can do.
If you're in a fancy hotel bar, like, they'll serve you a drink and then there's a bit of celery as well. You go, what on earth, what the sweet name of Crivens is going on here? You wouldn't treat rhubarb like that.
No.
But I'll tell you how they do treat rhubarb. And this is, as I say, now that we have the era of the global Anglosphere, we have to raise this. The first rhubarb triangle.
Yeah.
It is, what they do is, rhubarb only grows at night. Okay?
It only grows out at night.
God, I'm only realising how hungover we are now with the mics on. So the rhubarb, they force it. They keep it in the dark.
Chained.
I don't think they have to chain it, to my knowledge. But maybe some of it likes it. But and it just then grows constantly. Right? And it's creepier than that. It's already pretty creepy. But they're forcing the rhubarb to grow. You can hear the rhubarb grow. It grows so fast in permanent darkness, it actually screams. I mean that. You can hear, there'll be whole sheds in Yorkshire full of screaming rhubarb.
So are vegans allowed to eat it?
I don't know. We're going to have to ask a vegan.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what vegans are very keen on. Giving you chocolate cake. Have you ever noticed that? You ever noticed that?
Those were vegans that did that?
Yeah. Vegans will always give you chocolate cake. And then you eat it and they'll go, what do you think of that chocolate cake?
Oh, yeah.
And you go, oh, yeah, it was nice. And they'll go, ha ha! He was vegan. He's vegan.
Yeah.
Like they've pranked you. You think, I've just been given chocolate cake. This is a very weak prank. But they're very physically weak people. Like.
Yeah, that's about all they can muster.
They're missing the old B. There's no B12 in cake. Now then.
I've had the same thing happen with sausages.
Pardon?
I was given a vegetarian sausage, and of course I knew.
You know.
But yeah, you always know.
It's like you always know. You know from their kids. You know how they're going to turn out.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be
But
vegetarian
I
sausage
played
rolls.
along and they did that thing of like, do you know what? And I was like, because it had gone too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good real sausage. It wasn't a real sausage. Oh, what?
That was not the noise I was expecting to come out of you. That's a lot of sausage surprise.
Yeah, well, I was faking it. I was faking it for them. I couldn't let them down at that point.
Somebody tried to surprise you with a sausage and you faked it.
I faked it.
Oh my God. This is appalling. But it basically, this rhubarb, if you think about it, it's basically...
It's being tortured.
Yeah, it's basically...
It's like a castrati.
Yeah,
Do you know that's what happened when you castrate a man?
Yeah.
He won't stop growing.
There's a growth spurt. That's right. Yeah, you can have a late onset growth spurt. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. They can get really long and willowy.
Yeah, and they have really high voices too.
Powerful male lungs to push through the pipes of a small voice.
Yeah.
Very popular, the castrati in 17th century Italy.
And when it got outlawed, they had to, like, pretend there'd been all these accidents because they loved them. You know, it's like anything you make illegal now, it's just, you want more of it. Yeah. But yeah, they were like, oh, a little pig bit the boy. Pig didn't bite the boy. You castrated your seventh son. You did it. No, a pig. It came back.
I just hang around in the town square all day long. Hoping there is a bicycle accident of a 12-year-old boy. Very specific. He must be 12. The cobbles are wet because of these winter storms. I go around. I loosen some brakes. I admit it.
Yeah,
okay.
A couple of the stones get a little bit cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. But in return, we some beautiful.
Oh, the singing is wonderful.
You know what they sing like? They sing like rhubarb released. That's.
What a duet. We're bringing out the tortured rhubarb and the castratis. Here we come. America's Got Talent. Trying to get the golden buzzer or whatever.
Whatever they do there in their fancy frocks and whatnot. Illuminating an X, judging people. Who are you? Who do you think you are? A judge?
Yeah.
You're a judge. But essentially, it's the veal of the vegetarian
It
world.
really is. It really is.
It's what's happening to this rhubarb. I've heard it, by the way. Once you've heard it, it's like, when you hear a dove cry, you know that you, Prince Rogers Nelson's parents' marriage is over.
Yeah.
But which path will you take? Will you also go onto the musical road like your jazz musician father? The answer, of course, is yes.
Yeah. I think it could be used in a rewrite of Silence of the Lambs.
I think it'd be right.
Tell me, Clarice. Do you remember the rhubarb? The way it would sing.
Oh no! Do you know what it sounds like? It sounds like.
Oh no! It sounds constipated.
I was going to say orgasmic, but we all do it different ways. Like,
come on. It's all about full release. Have you never had a...
But then, do you remember last night in the conversation?
Parts of it,
yeah. It was, yeah. There was a confession from one of our backstage friends that growing up in South London, her and her friends used to fight with rhubarb. Do you remember that?
No.
Apparently, yeah. They use them as whips.
Oh, I
thought to whip each other.
I thought you meant like it was like Girls Against the Rhubarb. And I was like, how do you lose that one? Oh, I see what you mean there. You were using it to fight each other.
Yeah, how do you lose it? Fight against something you've already subjugated and kept in a box.
Yeah, it's a screaming rhubarb as you just kick it.
The shudders of despair,
Grow!
Great!
Grow more!
Grow!
Stop it!
Nothing. Until custard came along, nobody knew what to do with it.
Yeah,
I mean, you can put it, in a pie or a cobbler or a nut, but that's not enough. I mean, that is still going up against cherries, blueberries. It's going up a lot of better things.
Yeah, it's big in the Yukon. When I lived in the Yukon when I was a little boy, and rhubarb is one of the only thing that grows there. So they love it up there. The sourdough. Sourdough and rhubarb. That's all we ate. We shit weird. I'll tell you something.
I was raised in the high far north, only eating hipster pop-up cafe food. Nothing but vegan flapjacks.
Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't right. You think you make noises when you grow? You should have seen me trying to raise myself on vegan flapjacks.
I never grew, so.
Yeah, somebody didn't have any vegan flapjacks.
I was clearly kept in the daylight too long. I'm a little button of a man.
And that's when we took the rhubarb DNA and injected it into Andrew.
Well, that was Brighton. It was an awesome show.
Yeah.
In, the Brighton Centre.
Well,
massive. Like it was the biggest gig on the tour so far.
Oh, by
I think
far.
so.
We needed screens.
Yeah, we were up on actual proper screens. Jim was on scintillating form as well. It was a very funny evening.
Well, that was the thing too, because we were supposed to play the Brighton Dome, and they wouldn't allow Jim's material. They were, they're very inclusive at the Brighton Dome, so they like excluding people in their inclusivity. And I don't know what idiot decided, because I've opened for Frankie at the Brighton Dome, so anything.
Oh, yeah. And they'll have had other people, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah, and Reg too. I'm pretty sure I've opened for Reg there too. So it doesn't, it doesn't make any sense. But in the end, they're like, we're not going to expose 2,000 people in Brighton to this maniac. So we go play the center. We played to 4.
It was a bigger room.
Well, way to silence us, Brighton Dome. You
know what? We're not going to put up with your stuff. You're going to have to go off and be more successful elsewhere. God, I feel like I've been smacked across the back of the head.
Yeah, tough love.
tough love. But you know what? That's the Eejits of the arts bureaucracy.
Oh, and that is a wide field.
Oh, there's so many bad fringes. What is it about our field of work? There's just people with bad haircuts making terrible decisions. But hey, we are mere clowns. We are clowns. We are here. We are not here to judge people's bad decision making.
No,
Whatever. We're here to celebrate Eejits.
Eejits
of the world. Who is your first Eejit?
Well, it's not clear who the Eejit in this story is. There are several.
Oh, is this like an Eejit murder mystery?
It really is. We have the retired optometrist. The Hollywood ingenue. A bunch of lawyers and a judge. Gwenyth and ski resort to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't already heard, Gwyneth Paltrow either skied into or got skied into by a retired optometrist, and they're now suing each other.
Yeah,
and it is it's sort of unbelievable. And this is the tough part of the story, because they both have conflicting. One of them is lying. They can't both be telling the truth and have different versions of it. One of them is flat out lying. So,
not on the flat, because it was,
Well, it almost was. It was a green run. It was like...
Yeah. For those folks who don't know, there's in the world of skiing, as we both know through altitude, the world of skiing or snowboarding, the right of way is the person beneath you. They're the one who gets... they're the right way.
And you can see why Gwyneth Paltrow wouldn't know a rule like that, because it's exactly the opposite in Hollywood.
Yeah. For Gwyneth, usually everybody's beneath her.
Yeah.
Oh, those fanny candles. Oh, have you ever... Lovely stuff. Like
she was one of my favorite comedians growing up. Remember Fanny Candles?
Fanny Candles. Yeah. Oh, it was old time humor.
She wasn't even Dutch. Did you know that?
No, she wasn't. I don't know why she pretended. She looked great in clogs. Great in clogs. That was it.
Yeah, that's all she wore. I shouldn't have gone to see her in the last tour. That was disgusting.
So this is the latest courtroom celebrity drama. This is the follow on from Johnny Depp, essentially.
Yeah.
I read into apparently she said in court that she had lost half a day skiing. Like, I've been snowboarding for 30 years. I lose half a day skiing every day. It's called the morning. By the amount of times every year in altitude, there's always some comedians go, "We're going to hit first lift. Are you coming?" No, fool. Yeah. I am going to go up at lunchtime, when it's still only a half a past, and then I'm going to, as you know, you've done it with me plenty of times, my modus of operation is then use my snowboard through the lift system to get to the highest restaurant in the resort, and then stay there until the end of play. And that's people who don't know. Like, ski resorts are crazy dangerous. And they're crazy dangerous, not necessarily because it's a mountain. They're crazy dangerous because of the people who are on it. Everybody, if people don't know, like, there is an insane amount of drinking goes on in a ski resort.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about this case.
Some mountain schnapp that everybody has to have. It comes on these big long sticks. Like these yodelers emerge from some cave that they put them in. And, who wants the schnapps? Who wants the schnapps? Oh, yeah, okay, well, whatever. Yeah. What's in it? Just have the schnapps. It doesn't matter.
It's what the monks in our village may. Yeah, whatever. Just get it. If it's the monks, the minute you hear the monks were involved.
Oh, yeah, the monks did it. Have it.
The monks needed it. You know what I mean? It's just you and the other monks, like. Yeah. What am I supposed to squint and imagine you're a nun? Like, this is gonna.
It helps.
Yeah, it sure does. Have a double dose. But it's not only the drinking in ski resort; it's the food. People are like in a restaurant up an Alp, eating heavy. It's always carby. It's always
a fried potato with a potato in it.
Yes, we mix it with the tears of reindeers, and then there's you know what I mean. It's always
potatoes and pasta,
hot cheese. Like it, like none of this. You shouldn't be full of wine and hot cheese at the top of an Alp.
And the monk schnapps. Now, put those things on your feet and slide around.
Yeah. This is the thing. You think about the whole process of a winter skiing holiday. Is there anything more dangerous in history? It's a sport that is so dangerous. There is a genuine possibility that you might be leaving in a helicopter.
Yeah.
Right? That could happen at any time. And on top of that, you throw the local whatever the monks make and a lot of hot cheese. So it's a dangerous place. So what I'm saying is the eye doctor or the celebrity.
Retired eye doctor. Because that's it, yeah.
Well, apparently that's it. He couldn't see after. Or there's something wrong with his head.
No, it was well, see, this is why I don't trust him. Because he's suing her because he's like I'm divorced and I can't keep up relationships with people anymore. My kids don't speak to me. And it's all because of this skiing accident. I'm like, no, you're just in the last stage of being a man.
Yes,
you're getting grumpy.
That's right.
Don't try. You're getting so grumpy that one of the most beautiful women on the planet skied in. She thrust her breasts into your back so hard that something popped. And the first thing you do, you sue her. You don't sue Gwenyth. You parlay that story into getting laid. If you were a young man, you'd be like. You'd be able to like I took.
You ought to be on your knees begging for one of her fanny candles.
You'd be like name dropping it like I took Gwyneth Paltrow out skiing once. Yeah, I took her out. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Knocked her clean out. Yes, in her testimony, she did say she had heard some grunting from behind.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
Yeah,
Yeah, Paltrow. That's
Well, see, I think she's the one that ran into him because there's something she's not denying. Where he was saying her kid was skiing behind her and going, "Look at me, Mom! Look at me! I'm doing it." And she was looking back to see the kid, and she hasn't really denied that because it would make her kid lie. But if she was looking behind her, she would have seen this grunting optometrist.
Yeah. I think I've drank in that pub. Yeah. It's beside the main train station in Nottingham. It used to be a firkin, and now it's one of the the grunty optometrists.
Oh yeah, it's a chain. It's disappointing when you find out. You're like, "This is a great pub." You find out there's one in every town.
It said in the court testimony. It said that her son was going, "Look at me, mommy. look at me. And you go, oh, that's sweet and believable. And it turns out he's 16. What 16-year-old boy anywhere, let alone a Hollywood kid, is going, look at me, mommy. Over here, mommy. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
There's no chance. I don't know.
And the only witness is a friend of the retired optometrist who's colorblind. So that's what they're trying to do. They're like, Mrs. Paltrow was in a helmet, no? And your friend was in a helmet. And you can't see color. So you don't know what you saw, do you?
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow's got her beautiful Hollywood face. That would have still been, some of that would have been visible. And her little button of a chin. And he's got a beard. Like, I mean, there's still bits of them.
And I mean, I've not seen a full body picture of the man, but assumedly he does not have the figure of Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, if there was a grunting automatist had the body of Gwyneth Paltrow, I would be
very popular.
Very popular. Yes, there's some more of the details in this case really cracked me up. There was somebody else was meant to have had. There's video footage of it.
Bam, bam, bam.
Oh, Eejits of Mystery's good. But yes, apparently there's GoPro footage, but it's gone missing. Sounds. I've got 3 letters for you. TMZ. There's no way. There was a GoPro pointed on somebody's helmet, pointed directly at the incident. There is, but it's gone missing, and it's not in the court's evidence.
Wow.
God, that's exciting. The weird bit in the whole case, it said one of the most astonishing details is that she was there. She was skiing with her kids and her husband, her partner, whatnot. They were all away. And she was trying to bring blend the family, she said. She's trying to blend them.
Oh, yes. Oh. Yeah, this isn't... this is after her and...
long. They split up fucking years ago.
Mr. Play. Cold and Plague.
Very nice man. It said, the details said that she was taking them skiing lessons. That's why they were on a green run. For those who don't know, the green run is basically it's your beginner's run.
Yeah.
Because black is insanely dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I can never remember whether it's red. I think it's red, then blue. But green is basically the kids' run. You're learning. She said it came up in a court case that she spent $9,000 on skiing lessons. What the fuck? Like, are they being taught to fly? Fucking, what are you talking about? $9,000.
Yeah.
How's it? Like, what are the bells and whistles that are being added to that?
$9,000, and she still didn't know not to ski, like not to look over her shoulder when she's skiing.
Yeah, like, who's teaching you? George Peppard? Like, has the skiing company found a way of resurrecting George Peppard in his full outfit from A-Team?
Yeah.
And he's got a cigar and he's the one who's teaching you? That's $9,000 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably even not that much.
Nobody taught me. Nobody taught me. I'm self-taught snowboarder, very proud. Nobody taught me. Still shit. But that's because a guy who didn't know taught himself.
Yeah.
30 years of snowboarding. I'm still not fantastic, as you know. I go very slowly.
Yeah. You don't need lessons. I just figured it out.
Yeah, I was a bit... I really probably should have had lessons. I wasn't snowboarding long, and I absolutely buggered my left ankle really badly for a while. Because I'd been in Finland. I went snowboarding in Finland, in basically suburban Helsinki. There were ski resorts in the suburbs. Right?
Really?
They're just there, little ones, but they're ski hills, and they have street lights all the way up the slope, so you can snowboard all night. Really cool. And we were there, and I went off this snowboard jump. Now, the thing is, what is infuriating if you're British or Irish, so you don't come from somewhere there's actual proper alpine snow.
Yeah.
Is you are going to either have to damage yourself as I did, slowly learning what you're doing, or you're going to have to buy lessons, because you're never, ever, ever going to be as good as a local 3-year-old. Right? It's just going to be kids. I was on there. I was trying to learn to snowboard. And these local Finnish kids were just bullying me, Glenn. I'm not ashamed to say it. Look, they were bullying me. They were bullying me.
How many of them were there?
Oh, I don't know. There was 5 or 6 of them.
5 or 6 of them, sure. They're going to be, 2-3 inches taller than you?
Yes, they were 10. Anyway, they would just come ride really close to me and unbalance me and just drop me on my arse. I was like, and then they'd go off this big air jump and just be able to like give me the finger in the midair, like, ha ha, see you later, old man.
Yeah.
Whatever that accent is, I think.
Bullying you in their 4th language.
yeah, exactly. Humiliate. I went off eventually I snapped at the end of the day when I was feeling more confident. They went off the big air jump and I followed them. And I went off the big air jump. Yeah. And I fucked my leg up. But before that happened, something much worse happened. Something much worse. There's no anything worse than chasing Finnish children down a mountain like some sort of snowboard paedophile and going over a big air jump. Following them, going up the big air jump, shitting it just a little bit as you go down and slowing down just fractionally too much so that when you get to the very lip of the jump, you roll back down again. Oh, you should have seen these locals. They were like, ah, ha, ha, ha. We are mocking you in a second language. Well, in this case, I think we should make a judgment.
I'm gonna say Gwenyth Paltrow's the Eejit, and I hope I'm right, because if I'm not, I'm being a massive dick here.
Well, I am going for a slightly different, perhaps not as scientific approach. I'm choosing her because she's prettier.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a fine looking woman.
Oh, I met her in New York once. She is absolutely gorgeous. Like, unbelievably gorgeous.
Yeah, I've met her once as well. Met her at a wedding. I met her at, she was married to Chris Martin. The other Chris Martin, not our Chris Martin.
No.
Which I'd like to say, for those of you who think there's only Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, you would be wrong. There's also Chris Martin, our friend and comedian Chris Martin.
That's right. And probably a bunch of accountants too.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's got to be a lot. There's a guy, as we speak, driving somewhere in the world in a Ford Fiesta called Chris Martin. Any time of day or night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is. Just like New York is playing somewhere in the world.
And if you are listening right now and you're Chris Martin and you're in a Fiesta, give the goddamn horn a honk.
Yeah, man.
Just let it go. Like a long honk.
Yeah.
Wind down the window and tell the next person, I'm Chris Martin and I'm just as important as the other Chris Martins.
Of course he is. Of course that Chris Martin is.
Yeah.
He is on the way to give blood.
Exactly.
That's where that Chris Martin in the Fiesta is going. He's going off and he's got a rare blood group.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People don't think
who
the real heroes are.
Can you imagine if a Chris Martin with a rare blood type is on the way to give blood right now and is listening to this going, okay, fuck off. In my red Ford Fiesta. That's right, Chris. It's red. It's red. We can see you.
More importantly, we can see inside what an amazing man you are for, giving all that blood that you do, giving all that juicy claret away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
We drink it. We drink your blood, Chris.
But I did meet Gwyneth Paltrow. I can also concur. She's a very fine-looking woman. I don't believe in all her hoo-ha. I don't believe that air has memories.
It does after... It did this morning after that drinking session.
Oh boy. Rhubarb.
I know. I wanted to open the window and I just felt like I might get yelled at by the neighbors. Am I keeping that thing closed before that? You just clear it out of yourself before you open that window, sir.
You mind drying it down and turn it into like a solid? Mind burying it in an old churchyard? On the way to this wedding, it was Simon Pegg.
Who was getting married? Simon Pegg.
And his lovely missus. Yes. They were getting married up in Glasgow.
What a great man.
So she's fantastic as well. Good people. But we were on the way up, and I was on the plane with Chris Martin. There was a whole bunch of us on this economy plane. Super laid back dude. just really nice. You know what I mean? At that stage, he was already like arena, stadium famous Coldplay. We were just on the plane. We sat on an EasyJet or whatever you were, all of us together. Really nice. And he's a big fan of comedy, right? That's how the two of them, know each other, mutual appreciation and whatnot.
So he didn't know you at all.
He didn't know me. He didn't. I'd met him in the pub once before in Highgate, but I didn't know him particularly well.
Right.
But he knew I was a comedian. He was asking like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it was leading up to the Fringe, up to Edinburgh." And he goes, "Have you got your show written yet?" And I went, "No, but I'm going to do something with light this year." Right. It was the year that Paul, our dear departed friend Paul Byrne, directed my Edinburgh shows. And one year, just for fun, we decided to I'd do all the dirty jokes, but we'd go, "Hit it, Paul." And he'd turn the lighting state to a sleazy red light district red, and everybody be bathed in the sleazy light, and I'd do the dirty material. Like that.
Yeah.
It was just for fun. It was just, shits and giggles, keep you busy during the month of the Fringe. And I told him this. I goes, "Yeah, I'm going to doing this thing with light." And he goes, "Oh, that's great. So are we. We're doing a thing with light this year. We're just about to go out and tour." I'm like, "Oh, great." And then the conversation moved on to something else. About a month later, I turn on the TV and there's footage of him out, prancing around, in a fucking stadium in New York or Rio de Janeiro, wherever he was, in front of 80,000 fucking screaming fans. And he's in front of this 7-story high wall of light. I just thought of just me turning on a red light bulb telling dick jokes. Not quite the same. But the fact that he was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing that." He made it like it was the same.
Well,
nice guy.
What did you think you could have turned it on, and then he just turns red and he starts singing dirty versions of Yellow. And my pee was all yellow. Chris, what are you doing? I stole an idea.
I did it for you. I don't know why I made him Yorkshire. I think he's from Devon or something. And we're all yellow.
Yeah, his dirty character. When he sings the dirty songs, he does it in the Yorkshire accent.
Turn the light on. Turn it on. I took me pants off. I did it for you. And all the things they do. And they were all yellow. I stuck a banana up me bum for you.
lot of pointing at the crowd.
Come on.
What color was it, crowd? It was yellow.
We're all yellow.
He did 2 hours of dirty Coldplay. He didn't even do it. He didn't do it.
Dirty Coldplay. I'm going to attempt to explain the story now.
Yeah, we're going to do a different thing here on the podcast. I've purposely not learned about this story.
Yes. I will try and explain it as best I can. I don't. It's so dumb. It's very hard to concentrate on it. It's
okay.
So we're talking. This is
not the best intro to a piece on a podcast where we're trying to keep people entertained.
This is right. This is
really bad. So if you need to take a poo, go do it now.
This is also the Eejits of the judicial system.
Okay.
Right. Now, where to even begin?
Well, it takes place in Ireland, from
that's
what I understand.
right. It is. So
there's a man named Enoch involved.
Yes, that's it. So there's a guy called Enoch Burke.
Oh. That's what it sounds like to me.
Do you know the old school English expression of calling somebody a Burke?
I've heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of old timey. You'll see it in black and white movie.
Yeah.
He's a rot Burke.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it's the nice version of saying cunt. It's Cockney rhyming slang. The Berkshire hunt, cunt.
Well.
I know. I had no idea either. So when somebody's, in an old timey movie, he's a right Burke, you just call him a cunt.
Beautiful.
Isn't it? God bless the old timey English in their love of tea and empire.
Yeah, sadly, the Cockneys are all gone. The rhyming slang has died.
Yeah, not enough of it. Who knows who Ruby Murray is? She's still a curry. It's amazing who gets immortalized in Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah. It's actually people got more famous than their fame from being in Cockney rhyming slang too.
Oh, you would, yeah. Oh, you 100% would. Yeah, you'd become immortal in the Cockney rhyming slang. I think Ruby Murray was a singer, but I honestly couldn't even tell you. So this guy Enoch Burke, okay, he's a teacher, or was a teacher, but when this all started, he was a teacher in a rural Protestant boarding school called Wilson's Hospital, right? Which I as a boy played rugby at.
Very confusing name for a school.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, Wilson's Hospital School. I know. Simply known
Doctor, are you going to get down to the Little Boys Education Center? You work there, right? Yeah, that's the name of the hospital.
Nevertheless, it's a school. And this guy worked there, and he's sort of some super duper, right-wing Catholic type of carry-on. Him and his whole family.
Well, his name's Enoch.
Yeah, there's some. It's a pretty austere name. It's very Old Testament, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually looked into it. Enoch in the Old Testament is from before the flood. He is a super Old Testament Genesis, blood and thunder, before Noah and the flood. Very, very austere name.
The hippie. That's who they call Noah in that household.
But his son, he's Enoch in the Bible. Enoch's son is Methuselah. Like the only man with an even more Old Testament-y name.
They both sound like they're owls.
Enoch and Methuselah would be great names for owls.
Yeah.
I just have to become a sexually ambiguous magician. And then I've got my act. Enoch, Methuselah, land.
Yeah, both shoulders.
Oh, yeah. So, and obviously Methuselah is probably most famous in the secular world we live in as the biggest bottle of champagne you can get.
Is that what those are called?
The giant one is a Methuselah.
Wow.
Yes. There are all the size of bottles of wine or champagne are obscure characters from the Old Testament.
Well, I guess you can't really order two anyway, but I don't think you'd want to try and say Methuselah after having one.
I think that's how they know.
I was bartender.
More Methuselah.
Methodically.
Whereas I think an Enoch is a cheap bottle of vodka, isn't it? I'll grab a little Enoch from a corner shop.
Well, I think it's Cockney rhyming slang for a cock. Got me Enoch out.
No, it has to be Enoch Burke, cunt. That's what it's rhyming slang for. Anyway, so Enoch Burke, right? So, but I looked at it, so there's Enoch in the Old Testament. Methuselah is some two deeply austere Old Testament-y names, yeah?
Yeah.
Enoch's dad in the Old Testament is called Jared. Weird. Like, you go, what? How is Enoch from the Old Testament's dad a TV producer in LA? Like,
well, he just didn't want his kids to have the same obstacles in life as he did. I'm going to give you kids some good names.
Giving you guys proper Old Testament
You're not
names.
going to be invisible when you walk in that room. Like me and the other Jareds. I was in a room with 22 Jareds once and nobody knew we were there. Yeah. That's how invisible we are.
So this guy, Enoch Burke, teacher in Wilson's, rural Ireland, and one of the kids in the school is transitioning. Right? I couldn't find out whether from which to which. It doesn't really fucking matter to me. Right.
Their own decision, and God bless you for it.
Fucking teenagers, do what the fuck you like. You're gonna grow up to be an arsehole anyway.
Yeah.
Knock yourself. Look, just the point is we're talking about somebody. They're a kid in your care. Just give them a break. But this guy, because of his worldview, refused to use use they. Just refused to, and all that carry on. So the headmaster, then principal of school, sacked him or put him on paid leave. That wasn't enough for old Enoch. Enoch starts picketing the school. Right? Keeps showing up.
If you put me on paid leave, I'd never come back.
Oh, God.
I would. Even if I didn't feel that way, if I knew he had gotten paid leave, I would start doing it too, just so I could go home also.
Oh, yeah. Sadly, that's not how it works in the self-employed world of show business.
No. There's no paid leave.
No, but I think I would, you know, if I felt I had the sniffles, I felt a bit run down, I'd maybe just walk into the office and call somebody fat. What's that, fatty? Huh? What's that, thick ankles? What are you going to say for yourself, Brian? Boom. Yeah. Half day. Paid leave for you. Yeah. Suspended.
Gun in your badge, Maxwell. You're
Shut up, Freckles. Anyway, so out of this absurdity of a grown man refusing to call a kid by whatever the fuck they want to be called.
Sure.
Right?
But he's not asking to be called the magic banana of life. He's just saying...
Well, we don't know. I don't think so.
Pronouns.
Yes, that's it. It's like, I mean, come on. You know. Anyway, so off the back of this, he gets suspended, but he keeps showing up at the school and protesting at the gates. Eventually, it's so fucking stupid. So eventually, there's a court order, a restraining order. Just leave the school alone, right? Yeah. Oh, not old Enoch. He's from the Old Testament. There's no court orders in the Old Testament. There's just snakes that can talk and hand out apples. Right? I've been told what to do with some stupid New Testament world of love and forgiveness. No chance. He's a fire and brimstone guy. He's whole parts of northern.
There's a woman made out of a man's rib, so obviously he has some idea that it could be true.
Yeah, it's true.
Women cannot turn into men or vice versa, except that one time that God made a woman out of a rib. But anyway,
yes, exactly. God, a spare rib as well. It must have been tempting for Adam when that spare rib came out. Going, oh. Do I want to get laid? I want to like a spare rib. Yeah. There's a moment in your life where you get older where that tips over.
Yeah. Well, at some point you go, well, what about if I eat half the rib and have just a smaller woman?
I shouldn't listen to you while drinking.
Yeah, anybody's wondering what that sound was. A porpoise didn't join us.
I think you forced my rhubarb.
Oh, me rhubarb.
Fucking stupid. So this guy keeps going back and breaking the court orders, you know, which keeps showing up in court and going, leave that school alone, Enoch. Yeah. And he's like, no chance. Apparently the whole family are pricks. He's got a brother called Simeon.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I know. Like, who goes, Simon's not the name for me, Simeon. Yeah. It's like going, I'm not calling my kid Matthew, Matthias. You know what I mean? You know you're in trouble. That is that's weird Christianity. Anyway, so eventually, he keeps violating these court orders to leave the fucking school alone. And he ends up in jail. They eventually jailed the fucker last September. He does 4 months. In the Joy. Dublin.
What's it called?
It's called Mountjoy Prison, but everybody in Dublin calls it the Joy.
What is wrong with your naming of places in Ireland?
I know.
He's at he worked at the hospital, you know, the place they teach the children, and then he went to Joy. Where they incarcerate all the criminals.
Yes. We're going to lock a lot of men in rooms for 23 hours a day, and it's called Mountjoy. It is. I've been in the Joy. It is a scary, scary fucking place. What? I recorded a live album.
Oh,
no, I didn't do any bird myself.
Just use their pronouns, Andrew. You don't have to.
Can you imagine that? But he's like, this guy has ended up, and the Joy is a filthy old Victorian slop out, Nick. Right? It's like Wandsworth Scrubs, Strange Ways in Manchester, Barlinnie in Glasgow.
Tiny little cells too, because they're from older times.
Oh, 100%. Like they're basically cells for 2, and there's 3, sometimes 4 of them in it. There's cockroaches. It is a tough place.
He's probably got some new pronouns now.
That's what I was thinking. Like, you know, you're in there. Like, so I'll come to that and say, like, I recorded this live album in there. It's 180 hard shows, like, just very scary fucking men. And they didn't know I was coming. They didn't particularly want me to come. I was on A wing in their recreation room. Fucking hell. And I went for a piss just before about to go on stage, and I slipped in a human shit in the toilets. Mate, it was crazy. So I get on stage, and I'm dying. Like, dying like I've never died. Like, you know, like this. I am absolutely shit canning it. They're all just ignoring me and passing each other messages and gossiping. And
playing ping pong at the
just
table.
doing whatever, you know. There's 180 of them. And I'm locked into this. There's a timer on the door. I'm locked in for an hour with them. And there's 6 security guards, you know, prison guards by the wall and whatnot. And the daddy of the wing gets on stage and just looks me up and down and just goes, "Yeah, you're a lovely size for a hostage." Right?
Well, I'd say thank you.
Well, actually, what I did in that moment, I curtsied. I don't know where that came from, but I fucking curtsied. I didn't bow. I curtsied.
No,
and it was a crazy. I'll tell the whole story some other time. But the point being is, like, everybody in there is in there for some serious shit, guns and mayhem and major dealing, and then there's like all psychopaths.
Poor impulse control.
There's a lot of there. And the idea that you will have been in your cell in the joy with 2 of the other lads, you know, and they're like, "What are you in for?" Oh, yeah. Actually, here's an example of what one of them's in for. They're almost all Dublin. And there was one lad in the front who was from Limerick. Right? And I was, he heckled me. And I'm like dying in my arse, but he heckled me. And I thought, fuck, I've got nothing to lose. I went, "Shut up, you culty." That's what Dubs call country people. Yeah, fucking toothless culty cunt. They all, like, there was a pause. To bear in mind, they're all cutthroats. They paused, went, and then they all went, "Yay!" And it eventually, the gig came around. It was an amazing experience. My dad was in there with me. It was fucking nuts.
What did your dad done?
Genuinely, my dad came in. The minute the gig came in, my dad went, "I'm coming in with you."
Oh, okay.
And
I thought he was like just there.
Yeah, no, he was just...
"Dad, this one's for you."
No, he genuinely went, "I have waited all your life to watch you finally get your comeuppance." Dude, it's so great. It's a great night. Amazing experience. Anyway, they're all getting led back to their cells, and they're shaking hands with me dad. It was an amazing moment. So they're all the prisoners are going back. Some of the lads came up to me and went, "Man, you're brave. Fuck me, what you said to him." The guy from Limerick, right? And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I mean, it's a bit of banter, you know, it's just giving as good as you get, you know."
Yeah.
How you deal with hecklers. And they were like, "Are you kidding me? You know what he did, don't you?" I'm like, "No." You know, it's don't be asking people what they're, you know what I mean? And he goes, "Yeah, he murdered a man. He got him. He fucking hung him upside down and drained him like a pig in a shower. Like, he slaughtered him like a pig, hung him upside down, drained his blood out." I'm like, "Oh," and that's what Enoch went into. He would have been in a cell with 2 of those. "What are you in for?" Slit a man's throat, bled him like a pig. "What are you in for?" A couple of grasses went missing in the mountains. Pulled their teeth out, shaved their heads, burnt that. Fed the rest of them to the, you know, whatever the fuck. "What are you in for?" "I won't call a kid by the pronoun." They're like, what the fuck? You're going to be turned into your own pronoun, you know. It's all going. It's madness. He's back there.
He's back in prison, or
he's back out. He's back out. And the first thing he did was go straight back to the school.
Oh, Enoch.
Oh, Enoch.
The old Enoch joke.
Somebody doesn't learn.
Who's there?
Madness. I don't know. It's one of those stories that I was like, this is some serious Eejit stuff here, but I didn't know how to. It is. You see what I mean now, as I tell you.
Yeah, but it's not really a whodunit. We know who the Eejit in that story.
Oh
is.
no! Like it's almost it's almost
a cautionary tale of Eejits. It's not a.
Don't be such an Eejit that you get jailed. So, and the thing is, we've just gone past St. Patrick's Day, and people, maybe you do know, maybe people don't know, but there's massive parade. New York, Boston, Dublin, all the cities in Ireland have a big parade. But there's a lot of little parades, like little towns put their own little, tractor pull kind of little Paddy's Day parades. And there was one in where his family are from in the west of Ireland. They had a float where it was just locals, just a bit of fun in a float, dressing up as Enoch and as the trans child and the police, and they're all in costumes doing a sort of running around kind of Benny Hill number. Like, can you imagine me, such a fucking idiot, that you end up being the material for a fucking village parade float. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That is a level of fucking idiot.
Well, I went to Sydney Mardi Gras once with a gay friend of mine. I was playing a club. But, I wasn't turning over a new leaf or anything. But I was really impressed with how political they were. And this was before Putin had. It would have been right around the time he'd invaded Ukraine, so 2014. But he's got a very bad reputation in the gay community.
He's one of many. As he twists and turns to stay on his blood-stained fucking throne. He has thrown all sorts of communities under the bus. Yeah. The LGBTQ community, 100%. He's also fucked up. He's constantly fucking around with Jehovah's Witnesses. Anybody basically.
But this is my point. At that parade, there was really sort of grotesque representations of Putin, which isn't difficult. I mean, he's not a good-looking guy in the first place. But yeah, and big sort of. Puppets, with the sticks that run the hands, and he's googling along, and I thought, yeah, man, I just thought, it was.
But this is what I'll show you later. They didn't go to that level of effort in the west of Ireland. This is a lad in a wig. There's a lad dressed in glasses, and they're just chasing each other.
But
around.
What I'm saying is, conceivably, the gay pride parades could pick that up and really do a bang up job of it. Can you imagine if you're Enoch at that point, and the Sydney Mardi Gras has really put some money into this?
They've gone for it. Yeah. That's how you know you made it, Enoch.
Yeah, so the ball's in your court, Sydney Mardi Gras. Don't let me down. But
make Enoch an Eejit of the world, not just an Eejit of Ireland. Let's go, Sydney. Let's go. Do you have time for another Eejit for me? One more Eejit, please.
Yes, we do.
I'm glad. I feel like I got that Eejit off my chest. It's been ages.
Yeah. It's been building up.
What have you got?
Do you want to do the Eejits of Public Nuisance?
The Eejits of Public Nuisance, a major issue for me.
Well, it's in Suffolk. They have a problem in Suffolk with potholes. And the council not fixing them quick enough. So what they've done, some local prankster, he's drawn cocks and balls, spray painted cocks and balls all over them, so that they have to come and fix them, because he's using graffiti in that way, and it works, because once it's got there's a big cock and balls on the road, you have to fix it. But the locals have now dubbed that graffiti artist Wanksy. But
good,
this is the thing. Yes, Wanksy, lovely.
Very nicely
But here's
done.
the problem, and this is only what I can foresee, is he's now getting sort of famous for doing that. So it might turn into a Banksy thing where you can't fix it because it's famous now. It's been in the local newspaper.
You're just gonna have to drive around it. I'm sorry, the art scene has got involved. There is some people from the Venice Biennale. Am I saying that right? I don't even know.
No.
Let's see how little confidence I had in my high art genre, oeuvre. There's the Venice Biennale, I believe, is the big But then also Miami Banale is also quite big as well. That's an offshoot, as you know, I'm sure.
I have no idea what I don't even know what language you're speaking right now.
I'm not entirely sure I know what I'm talking about either.
No.
But public nuisance, let's wrap on this one here.
Yeah.
They've decided this dying star, this prolapsing bumhole of a government. Here in the UK, the Tories have decided, this is just like, by the way, I've lived in England so long, and I remember what the Tories were like just before they got thrashed in 97. They got thrashed. They were always back to basics, and we're going to deal with the problems and bring Britain, blah, 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 blah. You know, they know the script. But they're banning nitrous oxide. Laughing gas. Or as it's called on the streets, hippie crack.
Is that why they think people have been laughing at them? They must be releasing some sort of gas every time we make another announcement.
They simply must be, because, I mean, here we are, 7 years later, and Brexit has been a rip-roaring success. Many people have heard of Brexit to stop immigration. This is not a problem for me. I've always owned people, and I've continued to own people. No. Other people, for them, it was a sovereignty issue. You see, they didn't believe that the Brussels bureaucrats should have the final say on the national policy of Great Britain. No, not I. I voted for Brexit. I personally voted for Brexit. So that finally the scourge of the cucumber could be removed from the British supermarket shelf. Who, in God's green earth, could possibly want to enter one of these establishments, known as a supermarket, to be confronted by what is in fact a giant elf's penis? Colossal, this giant vegetable wang. You might have seen, ho ho ho, Jolly Green Giant. Terrified me as a child. An ancient English medieval legend, you see, of a giant green man. And that's what the cucumber has always reminded me of. This giant green man with this massive, verdant wang. And what was forcing them onto our shelves? Why, the French, the Germans, the Italians. And no doubt the Croats were involved in some way. But I'm very glad. The fucking madness. But no, they're right. That's what they've decided. We're going to stop the nitrous oxide.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's such a harmless high. Like, it's not that much of a buzz if dentists can hand it out.
Yeah.
Right? But they're banning it. It's going to be fucking illegal to have fucking nitrous oxide. It's like a whippet. Like, you get a 2-second heady rush. It's not even like a... But they know that. They know it's such a pift of a drug that fucking... The one that looks like a horrible child's toy that's melted. What's his name? He's actually Scottish.
Oh.
The one that...
Go.
Oh.
The lip.
Oh, God.
The spittly bottom lip
Oh,
of Michael
God.
Gove.
I absolutely
He
love...
looks like he uses it for propulsion, like an algae eater would on a fish tank.
Yeah, he does look like, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to put the boat in dry dock to get him off your hole. That's what he does.
Oh yeah, well if you can see one, there's 7 of them like deeper down. You gotta just take that out. You gotta take it out with a crane and hang it in the sun.
You're gonna need a layer of copper to get him off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's weird. The grip gets stronger out of the water for the first year or so. He knows what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it dries out. You see, the head swivel into the back of it. It dries out. It just goes into what looks like a death state, but in fact is forming public policy. It's so stupid. So they're basically, they're going to ban him, but they know that he was on fucking one of the Sunday morning news politics talking fucking things. the other day, and they know that this is thin gruel. There's fucking nut. You know what I mean?
They're out of ideas.
They're fucking. If you're banning fucking nitrous oxide, laughing gas, you're a laughing stock. That's what I say, sir.
Yeah,
you're a laughing stock.
Yeah,
but they.
Luckily, since they've taken power, we haven't needed the laughing gas.
No, we've been.
When you go to the dentist, they just let you read the newspaper, and that's enough.
Oh, Johnson didn't know about the law that he committed. That's extraordinary. His defence is that he didn't know about the thing that he came up with. Extraordinary stuff.
Yeah, take it out. It's just yank. There you go.
Yeah,
got that tooth out.
They're saying that it's littering. That it's basically littering.
Well, why don't you ban littering then, you fucking morons? Like that's like...
I wouldn't mind, but it's the only thing. I'll leave you on this. You might have something else you want to close on, but the only thing that's sort of like Daily Mail, that gets my goat, is littering.
When somebody steals your goat.
Oh, they can have the goat. So I would like some laundry to actually be on the line at the end of the day, Kevin the goat. I feed you food. You don't need to keep eating my G-strings. Though they are delicious.
Yeah.
Banana flavour.
Yeah, exactly. You can't flavor. You don't flavor a G-string if you don't want a goat to eat it, as my dad would always say to me. She'd drop me off at school.
That was another one of the dirty ones from fucking Dirty Coldplay. Don't flavour your G-string if you want to go to work. Don't flavour your G-string, or you'll be an Enoch Burke.
Yeah, he's just on stage alone. The band's gone.
They're long gone.
Long gone. We'll meet you in the bus, Chris. But, just try to wrap it up.
Yeah. We don't really mind which Chris we take on tour at this stage. Dirty Chris, Comedian Chris, or Fiesta Chris. We don't give a fuck. We just don't want to hear the dirty West Country versions of Coldplay hits anymore.
You know what? I think that's an episode. That's a goddamn episode.
So many delicious Eejits in there.
Wonderful Eejits.
Thank you, Eejits.
And thank you at home. And especially you, Chris, as you go to pick your nose right now. As I can see you. I can see you, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eejits of the World brought to you by
Pod People Productions.
Pod People Productions.